I suppose we should be here talking about some sort of very important match here on Speed Gaming 2, including a very important Game 3 between two runners who are very familiar with each other, KillerApp and Ninban. Hey everyone, I'm Adirondack Rick, being joined by Philian here on Speed Gaming 2. Game 2 was interesting, wasn't it?
Kill.
Well, yes, that is Ninban's screen name here for today.
Oh, yeah. Game 2 was Game 2 was wild. Game 2 was the kind of thing where you just go, all right, who's going to go to Turtle Rock first for a fire rod for go mode? Oh yeah, and then you got to go beat Skullwoods after. No one had fun, but all of us watching had a little bit of fun.
Well, you know, the interesting thing about that race was the fact that you had to make a decision. Do you do pendant dice? Well, obviously both of them did, because that was the green pendant. But one made the turn over towards Eastern, the other one made a turn towards Swamp. That was the difference, and here we are, game number 3. This seed will be bootless into boots, Philian.
Does that mean we're going to have boots at some point?
Well, we don't know. Because sometimes we can put those boots deep in Ganon's tower and we'll never see them. Anyways, we're off and running here in game number 3. We get ourselves a look at the layout of this world, and it does look like we have, what, 3 crystals in the light world?
There's a crystal in Eastern. There's a crystal in Hera. There's a green pendant in Desert.
Then I looked at it wrong then, so...
It was so fast. I'm going to get mad at Ninban for that. He's got to be slower on the map check, just for us.
Well, he's slowing down just enough for KillerApp in order to make his way over here towards the uncle. And what are we going to get from the uncle, Philian?
Rick, we were just pausing it to sync the runners. That's how speed gaming works.
Fine. And just like in game number 2, we have a Kane of Samaria start. There we go.
Uncle was right. There were no boots, and then there were boots. Good day.
All right. Well, at least we're going to be going fast relatively early inside of this run here, and you know, if you get a over 6-minute escape, then problems have happened.
Yeah, significant problems, especially because the other thing that runners usually slow down for an escape is trying to farm some bombs to open the wall at the back of escape. Now, I'm not saying bombs have no use in this race, but I am saying we don't actually need them to open the wall when we can just bonk the wall open at the end.
You mean we have nothing to talk about? We can't talk about the prize packs? We can't talk about various other things that we needed to normally talk about during this escape sequence?
You can find something to talk about. I'm gonna go get my coffee.
Give me one too while you're at it. All right, well, here we are on Speed Gaming 2, match between KillerApp and Ninban. And it kind of, game number 2 wasn't only just about Ninban going into Swamp Palace versus KillerApp, who decided to go into Eastern after finishing off with Green Pendant Ice Palace. But it also came down to really... Ninban routed it a little more efficiently, and because he did sequence break a fire source, the lamp out of the waterfall cave, wound up being able to do desert and the Mire area in one go, whereas KillerApp had to double back. That started to create a little bit of separation, but obviously that fork in the road really created the other separation, and as such, we now have ourselves a game number 3 between these two. Winner moves on, loser is done with his tournament. Pod strats for KillerApp and Ninban now done. KillerApp, you gotta grab that key first in order to unlock that door. It'd be nice if that key was a magnet towards you, like those pickups in Ori and the Blind Forest or Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
Oh,
but
you can have it be magnetic. You just need the boomerang.
Isn't there a Mega Man power-up for a magnet?
I
know there's a magnet beam in Sonic.
Rick, I haven't played a Mega Man game in 15 years, so,
You poor man, you.
Yeah, that's fair. It's okay.
I
watched the Ego Raptor video about Mega Man X like once a year, so that counts, right?
I'll give you credit for that one. What's the blend today?
It's Kicking Horse. You wouldn't know. It's from Canada. It's in French.
So then Ninban would be perfectly good with it.
He probably would. Yeah. Wow. Rick, I'm actually going to talk about the game here because Ninban's dashing has been way better, and there's like a multiple second difference between the runners, which isn't a super common thing that we see in Escape. Usually they're just synced up, but I guess early swordless boots puts an additional demand on you that you're probably not ready for.
Yeah. Your dashing efficiency, which is something that we've been seeing from Ninban here. While we were going ahead and looking at the discussion about coffee and whatnot, I was trying to pull up the bracket for this. The winner of this will be moving on to face off against the winner of Pika Pals versus Humbug, which is yet to be played. So that will be the round 3 pairing for that.
And those matches are happening today?
Yep.
Oh, that was a lucky guess. Okay, good.
I believe so. Let me double check. I mean, we've got nothing. I'm not focusing on room drops at this point.
Oh, I'm not either, except that Ninban found the key really early, and KillerApp found it almost as early. Ninban is actually just flying through Escape faster than his opponent here. Yeah,
yes, Humbug's Pika Pals coming up today, 2:10 over on SpeedGaming.
We did actually find a fun item pickup in the back of Escape. We got the flute today. So, doot, play that flute, and we're going to have boots and flute on our way out of Escape into the village. It's a good start for going fast.
Alrighty, so Ninban done with the Escape at 5:41. KillerApp just a few seconds behind. Also, don't forget, Ninban had checked the map, so therefore, Ninban... That was a very efficient escape, and KillerApp's going to still be checking the map once we are done with this.
Speaking of maps,
yeah, that was what
was just left that last chest behind at Escape, counted, saw it wasn't a map. It's not going to burn him today. Personally, I never skip that last chest, even if I'm 90% certain it's a map.
You know what's interesting that Ninban skipped?
Lumberjack?
No, these bonk rocks. Well, it turned out not to be anything, but...
Did he just go straight by them?
Yeah, he went right straight by it.
Alright.
Get our first sword here, and Ninban is going to be doing a save and quit, and is going to be going... Looks like the South Shore route.
Oh,
or no.
Right?
Now we're going to check bonk rocks, aren't we?
Alright. Now I'm wondering if this is faster?
When you see routing adjustments like this, you always do get that sense of questioning whether or not it's a faster route or not.
Because it does actually take a long time to get out of the cave in the woods, but it can't be faster than what Ninban's doing. He's probably just remembered afterwards, oh, hang on. And at that point, from that position he was in, it was faster to go back to the sanctuary. And Ninban is still ahead at this point, as much as we can call anything a lead here. So,
yeah, pack it up. That's it. You guys can go over to SpeedGaming in about 45 minutes. That's it. We're done here. Insurmountable. Thank you. Bye.
But I just made coffee.
Our container, 350 rupees. What else did we get in here? What was that fourth chest? Okay, shield. Yeah, there we go. So 1 1/4 hearts and 350 rupees. That shield that locks up KillerApp Sprite can.
This is subpar, but still plenty of spaces left in the village to find things.
Like this place Ninban is at right now.
Okay.
I don't know how to feel about that.
It's good for checking Bumper Cave, because if you look at the item and you want it, you can go through the cave and get it. It's great.
Is that the sales pitch you're really going to use on me for that?
Yep. Because I'm not thinking about other things. I'm looking at that flute Ninban's activating.
It's a good thing that Ninban actually remembered to activate the flute after getting the bottle vendor, and instead of what he did in game 2, where supposed to go to the chicken coop and then go back up.
Yeah, it's only a couple seconds that you lose.
Ninban is actually learning things here from game 2 to game 3 here, Phyllian.
I'm glad that this neural net we built is still improving. I mean, what?
Hey, bombos. And wrong blue item there. Wouldn't that be something if you could use the cannon burner to blow up walls?
That would be something. It would be something.
Is that all you get? Is that all you're going to give me?
It would be something. I'm not comfortable with the implications and the leg.
Hey, mirror in the library.
All right. So now we can get to Hera. Can't necessarily beat it, but we can fly up there and then mirror to the top. All right.
And nothing at the race game. Ninban is going to be fluting to 7. We're going to use that mirror immediately. But not in the normal ways that you would if you were playing this game casually. This is shaping up to be a fast, cleared Overworld seed, at least based on the items that we found so far.
Yeah. Yeah, on that front, it's really good. It makes this kind of almost routine part of the game go by really easily, really quickly. That's nice. It also puts us in a position as the race goes on where kind of everything is easily accessible to the runners at all times, which sometimes creates a bit of a paradox where suddenly the easy checks get put off because, I could just get back to them later anyways, which has me a bit nervous for both runners.
Get our first glove, which actually that glove doesn't do a whole lot for us. It only puts one other place in logic.
Zora?
That's right. Ooh,
KillerApp
needs to be a little careful. There we go. I mean, it could also be good to get that glove to be able to do some rupee grinding, which, I've noticed that KillerApp's been grabbing rupees wherever he goes to try to load up that Zora money.
Looks like Ninban is not going to do any of that farming, but he is going to do the dash down Ice Rod Cave. So we are going to see him, dash to Waterfall Ferry at this point?
Well, it was a big component of the game number 2 where Ninban did this skip in order to score the first fire source relatively early, which allowed him to do desert and mire without having to leave that area the first go-around.
Does he get really lucky with the sequence break today? Well, he gets 300 rupees, which...
Technically, yes, with that 300 rupees, because now he can do Zora while he's over here.
That's great. That is a heck of a find. I didn't catch everything KillerApp found in Saha's closet, but I don't think it was great.
I didn't see anything remarkable.
Now look at that dash line Ninban has. He just points himself right, uses the slope, crosses the whole screen.
Yeah, that's a very easy one to pull off too, as long as you remember that it's in that way. And Ninban is not done. We are going to go to Hobo by this maneuver, and it's a good thing that Ninban did pull up right there because you will bonk into those rocks if you don't stop yourself. I've done that. That's a little bit embarrassing when you do that. So Ninban's going to be going to dash his way over towards the Hobo now to complete the flipper checks. And that's one thing I did notice about the game number 2 is that Ninban's routing was so efficient.
Yeah. I mean, for checking all 5 of those checks, none in logic, of course. Not that stops you from doing the checks. For checking all those 5 checks, really quick approach. None of it paid off, but at least he did it quickly. And if KillerApp ends up doing that, Ninban may still see a bit of a time gain, as long as his opponent ends up doing that. Both runners, of course, on the mountain at this point.
Hey, there's our Dark World map, and we do, of course, have Swampy a pendant yet again.
And Thieves Town be a pendant.
Yay!
Red crystals at Pod and Skullwoods, which, okay, sure.
Yay!
Is that exciting?
No.
Okay, good. I wasn't sure how to calibrate.
This Tower of Hera is beatable, as we found the big key downstairs. And Ninban's going to be right behind KillerApp. And we are slowly running out of locations. I did notice one thing about that game too, by the way, that both runners did just absolutely dislike those Spear 1 checks in Eastern Palace.
Mm-hmm. Well, we saw KillerApp go to Sahasrah's closet, and then not do Eastern Palace today. So that's just even a little more isolated than it was before.
But it's easier to get to with the glove and boots, so...
Mm-hmm.
There's 3 bombs as our first item in here, and KillerApp obviously is not choosing to do a bomb jump right there. We'll probably see him fall down and do the conventional, casual way of going down to this big chest.
So, not to read too much into this, but I wonder how KillerApp's feeling about his execution today.
Probably a little nervous.
Yeah, that's the kind of bomb jump. If you know you can do it, or you believe that you can do it, you want to go for it because it's going to save you 5-10 seconds.
Yeah, it saves you a
More
stairs transition and a whole bunch of walking.
But
Or
of course,
running in this case.
whiffing that bomb jump is going to hurt a lot.
Falling down the metal hole is going to hurt as well.
That was really unfortunate. He uncaped just as Moldorm walked onto him and got stunned in place. Oh, that's a time loss.
Yeah, that is even more of a... I mean, that's just about as much of a time loss as if you wound up swinging and whiffing on that bomb jump. Alright, so NMG style to the Moldorm fight. It takes 6 hits in order to clear him down. And isn't this a kind of a fight where you'd want to try to maybe hold out your sword and try to help yourself out?
That is what you want to do, yes. Ninban gets the bomb jump. Very nice, very quick. Yeah, you're right, Rick. If you're holding out your sword, and it's staying out, then when Moldorm knocks you back towards the edge of the platform, you can just push your directional pad back towards the platform, and you cannot fall off. There's a couple ways you can, but generally you're pretty safe. KillerApp is just not having a good day. This is not like him at all. This is not the kind of thing I expect from him.
And you mentioned about his nerves or the execution confidence just a moment ago with that bomb jump, and I think we're really seeing it there, and Ninban takes care of the Moldworm in the first try. And it's nothing there, but Ninban gets the first crystal.
The most important thing was that wasn't the compass on Moldorm. That was your second item from Hera.
Yep. That was indeed the other important thing there. But that's all we can do on this mountain for now. As far as logic is concerned, we have really 2 locations we can go. We can flute to 6 and check what we have at Agena, or we can go into Eastern and what... Oh my goodness, KillerApp's going to have to calm himself down. I'd almost give myself 30 seconds just to cool off here just before I go up against Moldorm again.
Yeah, that's called reclimbing the tower.
Not after you fell down that hole on the 5th floor
Oh,
again.
this is a much nicer fight. Look at this. Look at this.
You gotta be patient with Moldorm. No!
Oh, no!
He was patient, but then I think he got too aggressive on that last hit.
Well, he's put on the cape, which is fine, but taking off the cape, it stuns you in place for a while, and with a randomly, or mostly randomly moving boss like Moldorm, you do not want to be stuck. You need to have that freedom.
I'm not sure why he's choosing to uncape.
Yeah, that's a bit of a mystery.
Down to 2 hearts, too, so he's going to have to watch out for the health, too. 2 more hits from Moldorm, and he's down for the count again to back to start. And this is the kind of a thing that can decide a race more than luck can. Hold the sword out.
There we go.
We're done with that. Just hold off the sword and have it run into you, and then you'd be fine. But there's the crystal for KillerApp. So far, we haven't seen anything inside of this Eastern Palace.
No, we haven't.
I wouldn't be surprised if KillerApp flutes to 6 and goes for the Agena one-shot here. Oh!
Ooh.
Hi there, Titan's Mitts.
So Ninban's going to be annoyed by those. Because what he wanted to do was beat Desert Palace. And then turn in the Green Pendant at Sahasrahla after beating Eastern Palace. And it seems like the game wants us to go to Desert Palace via the Mitts. Taking that option off the table for him.
Which means that we could have the legendary checkerboard cave Moon Pearl at this point.
You love to hope for it. You dream about it. Only once, but, you dream about it.
Alright, that does it for Ninban. So now we are going to go ahead and check Sahasrahla first, and then head on over towards the desert area, because obviously that's where this game wants us to go.
Mm-hmm. KillerApp also doing boots checks. Sorry, Zora-type flippers checks with the water walk from Ice Rod Cave. Let's see if he ends up doing it to the same extent Ninban did. I expect he will. He's got more than enough money for this.
Well, I expect him to go to Zora, but I don't expect him to go back up to Hobo. After what happened to KillerApp, I wouldn't be surprised to see KillerApp start to cut some corners. The question is how good is his luck to be able to come back from that?
Well, you can cut as many corners as you want as long as you don't cut the one where your item is.
That's what I mean, and that's where your luck is really dependent on that. All right, King's Tomb coming up here for Ninban first before we head over towards the desert area. And we just get ourselves 20 rupees out of that check as now we pull out the flute, and this is going to be a flute to 6.
Mm-hmm. I don't think there's anything else on the board for him. So we got desert, we got checkerboard.
Hi,
and there, of course, is that lamp that would give us access up Aga Tower. Can't do much in the Dark World without the Moon Pearl.
Also makes Green Pendant Desert Palace beatable. Now, thankfully for KillerApp, because it does look like this is where we need to go. Thankfully, this is where it looks like KillerApp needs to go. He is going into Eastern Palace. I didn't get to see what we needed for Misery Mire.
It was Bombos. Hey, we have that.
The medallion we have. However, we don't have the Moon Pearl to get in there just yet.
So, hey, Rick.
Hi, Philian.
If you go north of the village, and then east a bit, and then north, like past the rock that you'd lift to climb up Death Mountain, if you keep going north from there, there's these 2 guys sawing on a tree.
Yes.
They've got a cave.
Yes, they do.
Did anyone look in that cave today?
No, neither of them really liked checking that, because I didn't really see them put any priority into checking that cave back in Game 2 either.
I'm just wondering if there's something like shaped like the moon.
You mean like a
moon
gumball?
pearl in there. Like a gumball. I'm wondering if it could be in there, which is just rude. Just awful.
I mean, it's in logic at this point with that lamp that's on there on the ledge.
Sure is.
You know, the other rude thing is that moon pearl could now be on Sahasrara.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hey Rick, you know what I'm really happy about?
What's that?
I'm doing commentary here with you, but also that I got that's just a bonus one for you. But also that we got boots so early in this run.
Yeah, it's nice to see how people can run with those boots. So obviously, that is a skill that, you know, you can run around the boots all you want, but it's a skill that takes a lot of work to perfect. Like knowing that you can do this with like what Ninban just did with the key dash.
I love that. I love that. It's like one of the earliest in the NMG run. It's one of the earliest rooms where you just get to learn a really cool setup for the room and the key dash.
I'm not sure why Ninban was choosing to dash in that one short tile, though. That's a good question.
Oh, that's really cool. So the idea is that if you just like walk up to a door and you're just pushing on the door until the door opens, you'll go through the door. And then you're like, whoa, okay, I'm through the door. But you have to go through the door at walking speed. If you time it just right and you start your dash before the door opens, then the moment, like the frame or two that the door opens is when you're dashing into the door. And or the doorway, and you get to go through the door faster. The problem is if you start dashing too early, like Ninban did there, you do, in fact, walk off the door. But it's a really common thing with both those doors that open when you kill every enemy in a room, because you have time to charge dash while the last enemy's death animation is going off. And also, it's fairly common with some bomb doors. Does it save a ton of time? No.
And while you were discussing all of that, Ninban had a good Samaria kill of the Lamos, and has achieved a green pendant into his arsenal. His KillerApp's going to be checking the checkerboard, which now we know it's going to be either here or on Sahasrara or Lumberjack, where this next progression stage is going to be. Mm-hmm. And no.
Oh, I was so excited for the legendary Moon Pearl and checkerboard.
But this is why I enjoy listening to Violet commentaries, because he is very, very skilled at the knowledge of this game, and, you know, great insight like that, like little technical notes like that, and, you know, that's really one of those things where, you know, you learn things as you go, and Ninban is trying to do something over here. What exactly is Ninban trying to do?
So Ninban is trying to, and he's got it now, he's trying to get the Super Bunny state inside this cave, and it looks so weird with this sprite. So Super Bunny, viewers, you're probably familiar with it in Super Bunny Cave. But in fact, if you just manage to press mirror on the frame that you enter a doorway into a cave, you get that Super Bunny state that you can dash, you can swing your sword, and you can mirror, but nothing else. Well, you can open chests. And that's the really important thing Ninban wanted to do, was just open those chests without the Moon Pearl. In the event that it had big progression, like the hammer or something, that's saving him a trip. It
also,
didn't, so he lost a little time.
Also, shout-outs to Link Force, who has reminded us, or reminded me more exactly, that we have this check here, which is a Gina.
Yeah, shout-outs to Link Force. She's tracking. She's doing great.
Gina, that answer. So, therefore, we are going to do a save and quit. So now, we have to go to Aghanim.
Or Sahasrara.
Or Sahasrara. Either disgusting long trip is going to be the answer.
So, you know, there is also the possibility that progression is just sitting there on the pyramid in the open.
Yeah, you're right there.
So ultimately, this will be fine, right? You do this, and then if it doesn't work out, when it doesn't work out,
hey, there it is.
Wait, that's just Dark World access. Wait, no, we can get in through the village. I'm awake. I'm caught up. My coffee is kicking in, folks. Don't worry. Rick's in good hands here.
I would hope so.
And we will never know what's in Lumberjack Cave unless a runner decides to check it.
Until about an hour later, and we're still missing one key item, and we finally have to go there because we've now exhausted all of our other options.
So, the good thing about this for both runners... Ooh, maybe I got a shield stolen. Nice.
Now,
the good thing about
for
this...
those, just because you just brought that up, for those of you, the people who are kind of unfamiliar, why is it nice the fact that that picket stole the shield?
So it's actually not anymore. We used to think that the shields caused lag, but that was based on some faulty assumptions. There's a bow in Skullwood. You love to see it. Can't beat Palace of Darkness without the hammer, but we have a bow. Mainly it's just a swag thing to lose your shield at that point.
Now, is that true for all shields or just a level 1 shield?
That's my understanding is that's true for all shields. Specifically, we used to think that the mirror shield caused lag because we noticed more lag happening when you had your mirror shield when you were playing 100% non-randomized Link to the Past. Turns out that when you're playing Hundo, there's a bunch of other stuff that you pick up that's actually causing all that lag. We just thought it was the shield because the shield takes up like so much of Link's body. It was a reasonable conclusion to be like, yeah, the shield's big, it's causing lag, but turns out actually things like having 20 hearts and more rupees causes lag. It's weird.
Rupees cause lag?
That's what I've been told. Don't ask me further about this, or I'm gonna have to start making things up.
You wouldn't think numbers on the screen would be causing lag like that, but
game's weird, man.
Yeah, exactly. There's a
Counting is
Moon
hard.
Pearl for KillerApp, and now he will be able to join Ninban in the Dark World as well. So you know what's really fun here, Philian?
Video games, but
Well,
you've got something
absolutely.
more specific than that.
Guess where KillerApp's going? We now have access
Ooh,
to Misery Mire.
ooh. I mean, he's gonna do the Mire Shed that the Ninban just did. Okay. Huh.
By the way, we know that Green 20, that KillerApp guy here, and I guess he is not doing Misery Mire. I was hoping for a very early out-of-the-wall play here, and I'm still expecting KillerApp to make something of that because of what happened to him in Tower of Hera. And he's about to make another unfortunate discovery.
The KillerApp, we don't have there we go.
That's right.
There we
don't
go.
have the hammer. He needs to cool himself down. Because here's the thing. I don't think KillerApp has really regained his composure after everything that happened to him in the Tower of Hera.
I was actually going to say I thought he had until that hammer mishap, and that has me wondering. Ninban still didn't check Lumberjack. Why does everyone hate the Lumberjack ledge so much? Like,
Because
it's
a 4-minute cutscene.
Right, so you could take 30 seconds to check it instead of taking 4 minutes to check it. And it's more than 4 minutes, it's like 6. Plus, and that's just to do the tower and the Aga fight. Plus, then going to the...
Yes.
I mean, if you commit to last locationing it, then the correct meta play is to last location it as well, because you know your opponent's going to do that as well. It's like skipping the chests in Turtle Rock when you're in go mode. I understand that, but I just don't like it. I
don't like it
I'm
either.
old, and I found this box of soap that I'm standing on, and I'm going to step down now.
Admitting the problem is the first part of getting help here, Philian.
You're welcome.
Anyways, KillerApp did get the bow out of Skullwoods. I was worried after he had left that first section that he wasn't going to actually remember the fact that though he got the big key in that first chest, but he did. He's going to go ahead and check this ledge, which we now know is absolutely nothing thanks to Ninban. It's a heart container, but we're probably going to find a few other sources.
Right there. He could have mirrored and got a screen. It's right there.
As Phyllian continues to break down by the fact that neither of these runners want to check Lumberjack, and again, we're going to get that Lumberjack check in about 60 minutes from now, when all the other possibilities have been exhausted and it has the hammer.
Whoa, sorry. Some jerk just came in here and grabbed my microphone and started ranting and raving and screaming about things. Hello, friends.
You see,
it's a good day.
It's not normal for a Canadian to be ranting. Oh, there's our hammer.
Monday, we have a hammer in a beautiful spot for a hammer because Ninban can just take that hammer and go and check hammer pegs right now. He can even use his boots. This is wonderful.
Whatever your coffee blend is, I want some.
Man, my coffee
Shield upgrade
is just the happiness of life. That's a sword upgrade, Rick. Not a shield, but it's a good sword.
Sword upgrade.
That's all right. We all make mistakes. Ninban was trying really hard to, I think, set up a dash, which you do by just dashing the frame that your state transitions, but couldn't get that to land properly. And at a certain point just said, hang on, gotta cut my losses here.
Yes, it's a shield upgrade, everyone. You know, those big pointy things that you use to stab enemies, it's a shield. When we find the fireball sword, I'll let you know.
Well, now I want a sword that shoots fireballs. That sounds like fun.
We had
That's
that
just
in
the fire
Zelda.
rod.
We had that in Zelda 2.
I suppose
People
so.
hated it.
Hang on.
There it is. There is the fireball sword right there. Thank you, KillerApp.
This is actually a cool play to see from KillerApp. It's a bit nerve-wracking since we know the hammer is just outside. But this is the first check KillerApp is getting in a long time that Ninban is not going for. This is the kind of thing that he needs to potentially break ahead. Since, by kind of every other metric, Ninban is actually ahead, which is not a word we get to use very often in randomizer races, but Ninban has just checked more stuff, checked everything that KillerApp's checked aside from Thieves Town.
Yeah, the thing is that what's got KillerApp so behind is the fact that he ended up spending a whole much more time than Ninban did. As I hate to keep bringing up the Tower of Hera, but that was a big defining part of what's led to this differential between these two at this stage. We find the flippers in Hype Cave.
And the powder. That's pretty good. And Ninban's going to mirror, and it's going to flute to 5. He is going to flute to 5.
Yeah, you got that hammer. Now it's time for you to do the Palace of Darkness.
I'm a big fan of this play.
Because with that mirror, now you can double that off for the completion of Eastern Palace, which I believe we already pulled all 3 items out. So I don't think the Armos have anything.
I think that's correct. But it's still a crystal that he can get.
Yep. It's something you need to do, so
He's
might as well double up.
Ninbad's actually in a really nice position right now. He's got this pair of checks, and then if he wants, he can even go to Ice Palace. That is 3 crystals clearable right now with his current gear before he has to look at other bits of routing. And he'll have Master Sword for all of them. So he has a fairly clear path set in front of him while he tries to find the last items he needs for go mode. Heck, he's got 4 crystals he can clear. He can beat Myra if he feels like it.
I like the way you think.
Let me rephrase all of that. What Ninban still needs to finish the game is a hook shot for the top of GT.
You hate to see it.
You wonder about that. But there's lots of time to find that because we still need whatever medallion is for Turtle Rock if it's not bomb both and both fire ice rods.
I meant that key that was in Blind Cell.
Oh, I hate to see that. I hate to see that. I hate it. Delete it.
Sorry, we can't delete this seed. Blind talking about taking a stab at a shield pun.
But that's Rick's job today.
Yes, exactly.
And Ninban doing one of my favorite things you can do with Palace of Darkness. Going, well, I got my big key already. I can go straight to the back. Let me just do that, finish the dungeon. Then I can come back to this dungeon later and do everything on the left. Since you're going to be doing it all, you might as well just do this right now, and you can mirror once you're done with the main part of the dungeon.
So KillerApp sadly did not get anything out of that Thieves Town play, and I'm thinking that this is the first of the KillerApp moves to try to counter for what we've seen from earlier here, the unfortunate times trying to just regain that time, maybe find something that's deep somewhere that he can maybe get that time back. And as you've mentioned before, we do have several items that we still need for go mode in this seed, so they can be anywhere, and KillerApp's going to say no to that piece of heart because we're going to be finding that somewhere at some point. This is a nice Terrapin room here for Ninban. Almost got them all in one cycle.
So, despite that key in Blind Cell, our wonderful tracker Link Force is telling us that we got 4 items at a Thieves Town. So, if she's saying we saw that, I'm going to go with that.
Link Force is shouting at us, letting it all out.
KillerApp, you have the mirror. It's a strange way to route the Smith. Like it'll
you're
work,
you're commonly seeing this if you don't have the mirror, but KillerApp does remember the fact that he's got the mirror, which I'm guessing he just doesn't want to orphan off the or find a way to lose the hammer pegs, but little does he know he's about to get the hammer once he returns these regiments.
Oh, yeah. That's the reason you put that off. He's back to the village. He's going back. Okay. This is a long way around, but it'll work.
Yeah, maybe KillerApp was hoping that he would find the hammer in Cave 45 to make this a little easier, but again, little does he know, he's about to get the hammer right now off the breadsmiths as Ninban finishes off of the Palace of Darkness to now have a 2-to-1 crystal lead.
Desert Palace, not a required crystal, just a required pendant. Go get your moon pearl from Sahasrahla. What a jerk.
How rude.
As it works out, KillerApp is actually going to have a nice setup here. He can just flute down to 7 and then kind of walk up, or turn in the purple chest and then walk up to the regular portal for Hype Cave if he wants. Or he could just skip Hype Cave, the legendary Hype Cave skip for a while he goes to Pod Eastern like Ninban's doing.
That's fine and dandy until they put something in Swamp Palace like they did in Game 2.
Or he's just going to walk. Okay.
Yeah, he's just going to dash away from the chest, which As we now understand, you can go quite a distance without that chest. Mirror at the man in the desert, and he'll give you your goods. Hammer yump time.
This is a double perfect time sensitive trick. But it's only pixel perfect in one direction. You just have to be in the right vertical position when you place your bomb and when you move up. So by pause buffering here over and over, Ninban makes sure he lines up correctly. And then get the second line up first try.
What kind of things is Ninban looking for when he does that jump?
There's like a pixel on the wall that matches up with a specific piece of the menu, like the framing, the piping on the menu, and you're looking again to match it against a dot on the wall.
Fire rod is in the dark maze.
And then when you move up, you're trying to match like 3 pixels of the shadow of the bomb that you placed with the piping on the menu. It's really weird. Like, I'm not going to explain it other than to say it's weird.
You're looking at textures of the wall.
Well, if you put it that way, it doesn't sound so weird, Rick.
Well, I'm just trying to give the 600 people that are watching here on SpeedGaming 2 advice to how these runners are doing these tricks. What better way to have one of the experts on how to explain things and finally talk about them? As KillerApp now makes his way over towards Palace of Darkness as well.
I am, as far as I know, the only person who has been paid to teach someone the hammer yump. So,
what's the going rate for a Philian teaching session?
Solsky paid me $5, but it was $5 Canadian, so less, even less.
Hey, that's a cup of coffee.
We were literally in the same room, and I was surprised he hadn't learned it. It was the thing to do.
Now, here's the thing: was it that a game's done quick?
Yeah.
So that $5 Canadian wouldn't be. So that $5 Canadian wouldn't even be good until you went north of the border again.
Yeah, but I came home after that. But yeah, it was a big room, Rick. You were probably in the room at the time.
Well, I'm sure I was. Shoutouts to hopefully being able to do that again in 2022.
Soon. Alright, Ninban has successfully run to the back of Palace of Darkness.
The bunker destroyed the
or Eastern.
Well, I guess we didn't get all the items out of Eastern. 20 rupees on the Armos.
Alright, cool. So if you're Ninban here, what do? You
Mire.
Clear more crystals. I'd actually say ice. Ooh, skull.
Ice.
Mire
you have the power to do everything except for Turtle Rock at this point. And you might be able to get into Turtle Rock for all we know.
Yeah. So the Mire play is interesting. I don't actually mean that in like that's an interesting play. I mean it in like there's a lot of factors to consider.
Your idea here would be to do Ice Palace first, because that tells you 2 pieces of information, and you can pretty much route everything in efficiently with the Icebreaker.
What information does that tell you?
Well, first of all, depending on how the key layout is, you can find out whether or not the hookshot's going to be in GT.
That is true. That is correct. That requires you to understand the Ice Palace key logic. If you can talk about that coherently, I'm going to let you, but I'm sure not going to make an attempt at that.
All you need to know is if keys are in a certain position, then there's possible that you cannot logically access the end of this dungeon without the hookshot. However, I am not going to sit here and talk about it because it will just be blah, 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 blah.
Exactly.
And that way it's going to absolutely sound horrible on the VOD, and people are going to go, what the hell was that, Rick? There's the
Oh,
hook
look,
shot.
there's a
Never
hook
mind.
shot. Let's just avoid the problem entirely.
So
No,
Ninban
so-
made the right decision.
Yeah. So the argument for going to ice first is that full clearing ice with Samaria is barely slower than goal moding ice with Samaria. But also the argument for going to Misery Mire first is that depending on the Misery Mire layout, often you're just full clearing the dungeon anyways, trying to find your dang big key, so getting your items isn't that much worse. It's kind of a question of your gut feeling, kind of a question of when did you get certain progression items, how early did you see them, and does that make you want to double down on them? Yeah. Clearly, though, going to Mire has paid off for Ninban very nicely.
And this could be a play where hey, this game gave me all the things I need to do this dungeon early. It might have something that I need. Like, we had access to Misery Mire, as I was pointing out earlier with KillerApp, immediately once after we were done getting the Moon Pearl off Sahasrahla.
Yeah.
So KillerApp's going to be getting that Fire Rod real soon once he gets into the Dark Maze, as Ninban continues to clear out this dungeon. And logically, we need that hookshot to beat this game, but yeah, about that. We've seen many races in this tournament that have been defined by the Moldorm 2 bounce.
I don't think either of these runners can Moldorm 2 bounce, but also if they did it in a race, I would just not be surprised. I'd be like, ah, yeah, classic them. Just knowing that tech.
Also, big key is in his vanilla location, it looks like. There is the big key for Ninban, as now we make our way over towards the big chest and then over to Vitreous, because Mire 2 is not a room you want to do again if you can avoid it.
No, it isn't. And even just walking to the big chest, once you've opened the big chest, it's still fairly quick to just go to the back, go to the boss. Words.
Question for you there, Philian.
Ooh, I've probably got an answer.
How many items have we found in Skull Woods?
At least one.
And that was the bow in the big chest.
Yeah.
But if we've already found both items, then that makes the Skull Woods a less desirable location to go back to. But we'll figure that one out as we move along here. Vitreous is going to have the second and final item of this Misery Mire, and then we go to Ice Palace, we go to Skull Woods, and then, of course, we get to play the Ice Rods and Turtle Rocks, so screw it game.
The big thing that might influence me for Skull Woods is if I had the book, I would go straight to Skull Woods, beat Mothula, mirror, check the pedestal. And of course, on the outside chance that my Ice Rod, or I guess a medallion, is on pedestal, then I know that, and that's information I can work with. I probably wouldn't put Skull Woods off on the chance that, like, maybe I'm going to find the book, because, for all we know, books in GT or late in T-Rock or some other stupid spot we'll never get.
Are you asking for the book to lead to a fetch quest here?
No, I'm saying we'll probably not see it. The odds are we won't see it at this point. We don't need it.
Alrighty, Ninban's going to be using the cape to help try to help this or deal with this fight with Vitreous, but he doesn't have a whole lot of cape magic. But why is that that magic draining fast? Because he's swinging his sword.
He swings the sword, and then the game is like, whoa, hang on, don't Don't make me decrement that magic counter. I'm busy swinging a sword. I can't handle this.
Yeah. I'm glad you figured that out before you got hugged by that eyeball that you were out of arrows there, Ninban. Had 5 arrows for the start of the fight, so it's gonna have to finish off this fight with the nice keeping the eyeball away. And that was a really good strategy there, the dash and then swing, and there's our second item.
Hey, it's half magic. You'll love to see it. Ninban actually did have 8 arrows going into the fight, but he chose to spend 3 of them taking out small eyeballs, just because he found himself in a spot where so few eyes left. Vidi was going faster and faster with the lightning, because he does that as the number of eyes decreases. And the eyes were just kind of not playing nice. And Ninban said, okay, fastest course, get out of phase 1.
So the frequency of the lightning attacks there from Vitreous is judged by how many eyeballs he has remaining?
Yep, he gets faster as there's fewer.
Nice. Good to know. KillerApp going into Misery Mire as well to get that hook shot real soon.
If you ever find yourself doing like Fighter's Sword and Bombs Vitreous, you actually want to like start using all your bombs at the end and just take out the last set, as many eyes as you can with your last group of bombs, if you can engineer that. Also, it's Fighter's Sword Vitreous, so you're not in control of anything. But if you can do it, it makes the fight slightly less horrible.
Shoutouts to that audio switch right there. That was pretty well done then. Pretty well orchestrated by Link Force. Link Force, take the credit. We're giving it to you. All right, KillerApp's about to get the hook shot inside of this room as Ninban finishes off with this dungeon here. It's got Mothula, we've got Master Sword, we've got a hammer, we've got a fire rod with half magic. This is going to be a charcoal Mothula before you know it.
Wait, before you know it, not before you can say it. Never mind. My bad. Oh, Moth is behaving so nicely for Ninban here.
Nice there. 4 hammer hits. And down goes Mothula. There's our second item. It's the blue rupee. There's the crystal, which does unlock the Pyramid Fairy. I know Link Force and Chad was making mentions to that a moment ago in regards to that opening up the 5-6, but the dungeon itself had still one more item in it.
Rick, are we going to see a ped check right now?
Absolutely not, because we don't have the book.
Yeah,
so therefore we can't check it.
We can't check ped. We don't have the book. Ninban's going to do Ice Palace. You'll love to see it.
You want to do dungeons before you do Overworld at this point.
This is...
That was an interesting flu right there, but okay.
As long as it doesn't grab you, you're fine. Now, this is like... It's mildly annoying to have happen to you, but also, at this point in his Randomizer career, Ninban's probably not surprised that he's, you know, got 4 crystal dungeons in a row he can beat, and doesn't find progression. It's just like, oh, okay, we're doing this, we're doing this, we're doing this.
But
it's all here.
But we did find progression.
Fire Rod was our last progression, right?
No, Hookshot.
Well, oh, yeah. Yeah, my bad.
Fire Rod / Hookshot was our last progression. Depending on how you want to put the spears.
Yeah, no, I forgot about the Hookshot. Yeah. I had a point there, but it was something about clearing dungeons and not finding things.
And that's really what you want to do at this stage in the run, is just to be clearing dungeons, because the overworld, okay, yes, you might get lucky, you might find something that will make a dungeon better, or you might even find go mode, but Icebreaker has made this dungeon so convenient to do, unless Ice-T has... Even then, it's so... Well, yeah, but, I mean, that's the only that's out of the way of any of these checks inside of this dungeon.
Oh yeah, it's slick. There's one item. Also, you know, there's reasonable chance that you just get your 3 items before you get to iced tea.
Exactly. Which we saw in game 2. But yet we've only seen... Have we even seen an item yet?
We've seen 1 in the vanilla big key chest.
Okay.
So we got 1 of 3.
I mean, we could still find number 2 right here. Yes, that is, and that's going to be nice for the cold stare fight. And we could find number 3 here in the big chest. But
Nope.
it's not.
Nope. Nope.
But yeah, you're right in the regards that iced tea isn't that big of a deal here. But it just what is the only out of the way chest inside this dungeon now that we have Icebreaker. And Cold Stare's gonna have the 3rd and final item. Interesting note from Chaz, the fact that we're now 60 minutes into this seed. We have not seen a single bottle yet.
Huh. That's anomalous. That's really strange.
Finally, now passing around the big words in this room. As, yeah, here we are in the 60-minute mark. KillerApp had a few issues early on in this run, especially in the Tower of Hera, but has been kind of making the same moves that Ninban's been making. Just, if you're looking for KillerApp to win this race, you need KillerApp to find something that's off the way that Ninban is going. This race isn't done and over with just yet, but that's really the only chance, although Ninban's got to be careful with this cold stare fight down to 3 hearts. 1 left to go. There it is.
We're good. $100.
I'd love to get $100 for killing a boss.
I have a lot of suggestions that are inappropriate.
I'm not killing Bruce Springsteen. There, I showed my age.
Okay, good. Good. Thank you. We still need him. So Ninban now at 6 crystals.
This is Death Mountain. We got to go Death Mountain at this point. First of all, we've got to find out what we need to get into Turtle Rock, because we very well could get in there, and if we can, then of course the ice rod could very well be as deep as Laser Bridge.
Yep. Yeah, I love this. You just go, see if you can get into the dungeon, clear the stuff in the surrounding area regardless, and if it turns out it's Bombos for entering TR, just take that Bombos and go find your ice rod on Laser Bridge. This is Ninban's first trip to East Death Mountain at all. We are going to see him check Paradox and some other stuff first.
Wow, yeah. Have neither runner done East Death Mountain?
No, because you needed either hook shot from Misery Mire or hammer from Smith's to get over here, and both those items coming relatively late, coming kind of after we had unlocked every other progression or every other crystal dungeon. This wasn't a good play. Like, yeah, woo, it's got item density, but it doesn't actually have the things you need to open Ganon's Tower. But I love Ninban coming over here, like, as soon as his clearable crystal dungeons are exhausted. At that point, you just go, right, we're going to go where the items are.
Well,
where the checks are.
First of all, where the items are, but also where the information is, because, again, Turtle Rock, we do need to know what we need to get inside of there, and, it's still possible that we don't have access in there, as Ninban now goes through Super Bunny Cave. For all we know, Ice Rod could still be somewhere visible to these runners. And I'm not talking about that one place that you wanted them to check at 6 minutes in.
I am.
There's Quake.
Okay. I feel fairly confident we can get into Turtle Rock now.
It's probably Quake to get into Turtle Rock at this point.
It feels like the kind of thing it would be.
All right, Hookshot Cave. There's our first bottle. I would have laughed my butt off if that had all 4 of the bottles in here.
Oh, I know. I wanted it so badly.
Turned out not to be, but of course we get our first bottle, so all is good in our world. Actually, we got... No, he just let go of the bee. I thought we got 2 bottles. No, that's 300 rupees on the ledge there. Is now Ninban will go ahead and activate this portal to find out what we need to get into Turtle Rock.
I like this this routing. You just come in from the light world after checking the top of
and it is the Quake.
Yeah, very good odds that you can open this dungeon, and you have to open the portal anyways. So, on average, he's saving time by doing it this way rather than going back into the dark world, like would kind of be conventionally the thing to do. And now he can go into the dungeon and find the ice rod on Laser Bridge.
And if he doesn't, he can save a portal and...
Ooh, that's... I mean, yeah, he can. There's a question of how long he would want to do that for. But...
Well, bear in mind, Ninban has yet to check Thieves Town. That's a possibility. Obviously, KillerApp had, and I believe it's Compass that's going to be in the big chest, so that's going to be coming up empty. There's Pyramid Ferry as well that could come into play as KillerApp tries to do the Icebreaker.
So, yeah, for those who have joined us more recently, Ninban is fairly definitively ahead in this race. KillerApp has checked the entirety of Thieves Town, which is, I think, the only thing he's done that Ninban hasn't touched. But Ninban also just rocking a bit of a lead earlier from a much cleaner Tower of Hera, where KillerApp
there
unfortunately
it is, in 1
struggled.
hour, 5 minutes, and 42 seconds. Ninban is the first of these 2 runners into go mode.
Boom. Just go where the items are. It's pretty much what Ninban's been doing. I want to say ever since he picked up that moon pearl. He's just gone where the items are, and it has worked out for him. Everything's falling into place.
So Ninban looking pretty good here to be going up against either Pika Pals or Humbug. Game 1 of that series begins today at 2 o'clock. Games 2 and 3, if needed, are going to be tomorrow afternoon. Do have to say, this has been a pretty solid run here for Ninban.
Yeah, I'm hard pressed to think of kind of out of the way or slower checks that he's done that he didn't have to, or that weren't like kind of obvious checks. I don't know. Oof, having a tough time in the Poke Room here.
Yeah, those are enemies that you really don't want to be taking hugs from, but he does still have that fairy available at the top of the room to replenish the health.
So, he just skipped the lava chest. Rick, what's up with that?
Well, he has absolutely no reason to check that, because apparently he's got the big key, which he must have gotten out of the Chain Chomp room. And he's also going to be playing in the rules of the 21, or the 20 out of 21, in which that he's going to find a small key either here in the Crystal Roller Room or on Laser Bridge.
So by skipping both lava chest and the big chest, he's just playing the odds, going, I bet I will find nothing there. Or there will not be small keys in both of those chests, meaning I will still have a small key available for myself. He does have to put the platform on the right spot in this room, and having a cycle is going to wreck a bit of his timing. That's interesting.
Looks like
did you see that cheeky little hookshot Ninban did?
I exactly have just missed it, because I'm noticing that KillerApp is running right straight for Turtle Rock area.
Yeah, he probably wants to. Did he not do Ice Palace? He did Ice Palace, right?
He just finished Ice Palace, I think. Alrighty, so there's the small key, so Ninban doesn't have to worry about anything. So there's one main thing of note here for KillerApp is that he's not going to be able to open up the portal just yet, but he's going to once he goes through Super Bunny, because that's where the Quake turned out to be. The key was underneath the doormat. But he is going to be a dungeon behind Ninban once he gets inside.
Has he done both Ice Palace and Skull Woods? I feel like he skipped one of them. But maybe I'm making things up.
We've been so focused on Ninban with all the checks he's coming across that I haven't been really keeping up with what's going on with KillerApp. Anyways, Trinex now going up here for Ninban. He has done both, confirmed by chat.
Okay.
And he did do Ice Palace because he did have the Tempered Sword, which was in the Freezor room. And Trinex is down for Ninban.
Boom.
And that is the 7th. Oh, there's the second bottle.
Also with a B, of course.
Yes, because why not?
As you do.
Oh, KillerApp is not going into Turtle Rock at this point in time. That's going to be very unfortunate.
I get why he's doing this. If Ice Rod is in Spike Cave, he makes up so much time over his opponent, who probably did this logical thing of clearing Turtle Rock first. I get why he's doing this, but...
But little does he know that the Ice Rod is indeed in Turtle Rock, and Ninban is going to Ganon's Tower. Yeah, there are people throwing in numbers in chat because there are 22 possibilities in Ganon's Tower. What's the big key can be in? And Philian, where do you believe the big key is going to be today?
I believe it's going to be wherever Ninban finds it.
That's a good answer.
Tomorrow, it's going to be where someone else finds it. Whoever's racing tomorrow.
Okay, and what about Monday?
Same thing. I don't have my schedule page up, Rick. You got to give me a heads up if you're going to ask me for that. I can tell you where it's going to be this afternoon.
Where is it going to be this afternoon?
It's going to be wherever Humbug and Pika Palace find it. I mentioned those two specifically, folks, because the winner of this race, looking to be Ninban at this point, is going to face the winner of Humbug versus Pika Palace in the next round.
Alrighty, mirror out. There's our last medallion. And so now we know that Ninban's very, very likely to be winning this race, barring a major meltdown at this stage. Go through the Hope Room, and we find that there is a small key over here. And 4 keys in hand now from Ninban as we head on over here to the right side of the compass room. I think the big key's taking the U.S. holiday off on Monday.
Oh, yeah. You'll have one of those. Sorry, I get.
It's not like you guys didn't have a holiday last week.
We did. It was wonderful. So KillerApp is shooting Turtle Rock. I'm going to play to the outs and go to Swamp Palace.
This is the, if it's in Turtle Rock, I'm done because Ninban went here first. And I already know I'm behind because of what happened to me earlier, so therefore, yeah.
Yep. I love it. I love the decision making. I love the thought process. I don't love how he ended up in this position, but I love how he's dealing with it. It doesn't work for him, but going to Turtle Rock would not have won him the race either. So this is the good play.
Going to Turtle Rock would have put him still in contention to maybe have something happen to Ninban, but yeah, the deficit is at a stage right now where Ninban is in control of his destiny, although doing this is not helping Ninban one bit.
See, What I want to say is that you should never count on your opponent to make a mistake at this point in random, or at any point in randomizer, but especially at this point in the tournament.
But then
I see Ninban do that switch room, and I go,
yeah, exactly. And you know you have to just laugh this one off. Although you got to realize that at this stage in game number 3, the nerves are real.
Well, and I can hear Ninban like chuckling to himself as that switch room goes wrong.
He's probably saying a few words that are not appropriate for SpeedGaming phone say.
Does that make them appropriate for here because we don't know what they mean?
Probably not.
Okay, I'll hold back then.
Yes, I don't need to learn about French curse words today by way of you, Philion.
All right. Do you have another language in mind, or?
Continuing on, we have yet to see the big key here. Yeah, give us Klingon, Philion. That's what the chat wants.
I do not speak Klingon. That's it. There's no joke. There's just I don't speak Klingon. My apologies.
How about Philion?
Do I speak Philion?
Yes.
Ooh, look, the big key for Ninban. Cool.
Big key was vanilla.
And he's got plenty of keys, so he doesn't have to worry about the keys. Gauntlet time.
That was number 19, by the way.
Oh, thank you, because I was not counting. If you guessed number 19 in the chat, I am proud of you, and I don't know your name, but you can go home today at the end of this race, pleased with your performance and knowing that I have the utmost confidence in you to continue guessing 19.
What if you're already home?
You can stay home with everything else that I just said.
What if you want more Link to the Past randomizer matches?
You can switch to other channels once this race ends.
Like, for instance, right now over on SpeedGaming, we have Azazas facing off against Chimo in game number 3 with Dane and Nihon Tiger on the call, and that's going to be part of I believe, a triple header, because Humbug and Pika Pals will be after that, and One Up and P-Train will be on at 4:10. Next match here on SpeedGaming 2 is going to be the Madcap Ganon's Gone Wild Game 3, if it's necessary, because Game 2 is going to be at 3:10 today.
Oh man, I'm so glad you opened the schedule, because I still didn't have it open. You'd think I would have learned after that last setup, but yeah, it's an exciting day of round of 32 matchups. A lot of series being
that's
decided.
Fine, finally, and I've got your back.
Aw, thanks, Rick.
Also, if you like Super Mario Bros. 3 Randomizer, we have that coming up here next on Speed Gaming 2. In about 30 minutes, we have Ibubba 7 versus Sharky 2107. Super Mario Bros. 3 Randomizer tournament with a pair of matches beginning at 1 o'clock Eastern here on Speed Gaming 2. As, while I was talking about that, Ninban just charcoaled... that
was like a 2 or 3 cycle fight. Come on.
Well, he still charcoaled Lambo while I was talking about that.
I just want him to be faster. I would be worried about his health, but he's got a fairy in a bottle, and also powder for the anti-fairies coming up.
And he didn't put himself in a position to get beamed by the Wizrobes.
Mm-hmm. Ooh. Stuck on that rock in the center of this room. Firebar room's such an interesting one, because if you go fast, everything works out great on the timing. And if you just get stuck on a few things, it's not that the room becomes unsolvable. It's just like you can tell that your cycles are off, and you can tell that you're behind, and you are just like, I should be able to do this room better.
All right, Ninban's about to go ahead and powder the anti-fairy and the bunny beam in this room to be able to restore some health. And then be facing off against Moldorm 2. And then, well, I guess at that point in time, we'll go down in a hole.
Yeah. Moldorm just ran straight at him, did not flinch, and Ninban tinked off the head.
Gotta give Ninban a lot of credit for how he was able to do that Moldorm 1, and I think that's what really led to the opening part of the separation between these two runners.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, well, guess what, Filian?
Ninban's at the top of Ganon's tower.
That's right, and also KillerApp's gonna be giving us a look at what's on the pedestal.
Oh, he found the book?
No, we got all 3 pendants now.
That's exciting.
And really, you don't want this to be a fetch quest if you're KillerApp, because he throws the bombs at it immediately. If this turns out to be the book or a shovel, you hate yourself.
I want book. I always want book on the pedestal.
How about 10 arrows instead?
That's okay. Whatever. It's just 10. I like it. I respect the guts. Didn't work out. KillerApp probably knows at this point that his run in the tournament has come to an end. It looks like he's going to do Pyramid Fairy.
He had a pretty solid run. He ended up going 5-2 through the group stage to put himself into this position. So, you know, it's a fantastic run for KillerApp. It's just unfortunate for him that the luck ran dry. And really, I guess we mentioned it again. It just, the execution from Ninban really shined in this race.
Mm-hmm. KillerApp realizes, hang on, I can do Pyramid Fairy. I'm gonna go get the bomb. Ninban misses the 1-on-1. Actually, I think he took a Ganon hug there. It's fine. This is what the fairy's for.
And you can't be... I mean, KillerApp is definitely fantastic. Okay, well, we've got a fairy in a bottle, so therefore we could tank that hit. Now, we don't definitely want to do that again here if you're Ninban, so we're going to be a little more careful as we get into Stage 3.
Stage 3 should be fine. Things do less damage. Fire bats are, what, 2 hearts at this point?
I think fire bats still... I want to say they still are very painful at this stage. It's once you get to Stage 4 when those fire bats do too. That hurts.
Okay. Ninban.
There's the book.
All right. Ninban, you do have an incredible lead at this point. You do still have to finish the race.
Stop hugging Ganon!
Oh, no. So this is, of course, not the first time Ninban has found himself in this position in the tournament, being the first one to Ganon, but then taking numerous deaths. I can't remember, did he end up winning that race, or did he end up losing due to the number of deaths he took?
I can't remember. I want to say that he just barely hung on at that point in time, but I don't really remember for certain. But yeah, Ninban, you've got to calm yourself down. Little do you know that KillerApp... Now, this is a case where if KillerApp did go into Turtle Rock when he had the Quake, he would be in a much better position, but he just went away from here.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, there was... KillerApp was would have been a Turtle Rock clear behind, which would put them fairly close as Ninban runs this fight over and over. Ganon... So what happened here is Ninban got in the way of Ganon warping across the room, and then Ganon actually stops a bit higher than normal, which puts him in a really awkward position to hit. You can tell he's done that because he's actually facing down at that point, in addition to being a couple pixels higher than normal. So good use of the cape to protect himself.
Yeah, you just want to be as safe as you possibly can at this point. Don't be overly aggressive. I don't really want to see you going poking into Ganon like that. All right, KillerApp now checking the ether tablet. And this is honestly why I get what KillerApp did. It's just, I dislike the meta for that reason. I think that's 2 hits already, right?
Yeah. And then a missed torch glitch.
3. 4. Don't get hit with that back because you're going back to start. You're not going back to start by way of a death, but you're going back to start by way of a fall.
Yeah. Hey Rick, if a Ganon bat hits you in phase 4, what is the best thing you can do?
Don't hit the direction of the hole you're going towards, or the opposite, I think. What is it? The opposite?
I would just say hit nothing. Just do not touch your D-pad.
Take your hands off the controller, yeah.
Because, you're right. If you hit the fire bat, you're going to move in the opposite direction that you're trying to move, and you can try to think it out, and you can try to move away from the pit, but then you get control back, and suddenly you're moving back towards the pit, and it's way easier if you just drop your controller and do nothing. Well, don't drop it. You'll save and quit by accident.
Anyways, Ninban, I think, is at 10 right now. That should be 11, and that's 12. And Ninban's going to be moving on to round 3, although made it really dicey in the end.
Good counting, Rick. I lost count.
It's going to be Ninban against either Pika Pals and Humbug in round 3 of the tournament.
That is an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 25 minutes, 28 seconds. I already got your GGs in chat. Great work, chat.
And Ninban has been joining us here for this race, or the post-race conversation. And KillerApp wasn't happy about that Ice Rod location. I think this is where he's thrown in the towel. So get your GGs in the KillerApp. He had a fantastic run through this tournament. As we talked to Ninban.
Hello.
Hi. So about that Ganon fight.
It was a good fight. The first death I got where the fairy revived me was intentional, because I was just missing 1 hit on Ganon, so I wanted to get it there. All the other ones were not.
Yeah, we figured that the hit by that fairy was so that way you can at least get yourself into stage 3 a little bit faster, knowing that you had that fairy in your pocket, but you gotta stop hugging that Ganon there, Ninban.
Man, I need hugs, okay? I haven't got out since the start of COVID, and I don't know, man. Just Ganon wanted the hugs.
All right, well, we also are joined by KillerApp, who, that Ice Rod location.
Yeah, oh well.
And you pretty much were feeling like you were behind, which is why you did Swamp and everything else you did before you went into Turtle Rock. Because you went through the idea that if the Ice Rod was in Turtle Rock, you were behind Ninban.
Yeah, I didn't realize at the time that I had the mirror when I was in Village of Outcasts, or else I would have probably done choose Smith Chain over Dip in Thieves Town.
That explains why
when
you grabbed
didn't find anything there. I was like, well, I'll clear out all the crystal dungeons I can, and just item after item, and then I was like, well,
and that
probably
explains...
Ninban's going to go into TR for the Ice Rod, so I just got to gamble that it's not going to be there.
And unfortunately, little did you know that with the issues that Ninban had at Ganon, that if you did go into Turtle Rock when you got that Quake, you could have actually maybe swept this series away from Ninban, but we wouldn't have known. It's a little too hard to actually determine that. But you did what... I figured the exact reasons why you did what you did. It's just it didn't work out for you this time around, but you've had a hell of a run through this tournament.
Yeah. My goal is to make the first round or second round of brackets, so I can't complain to making the second round. Ninban definitely is a really good player. Deserves to be in the top of the
By the way,
tournament.
I know that you two were looking forward to doing this match in this tournament. How happy were you that the stars aligned and that you were able to meet up with Ninban here in this round of this tournament?
Yeah, I thought it was cool. I saw that and I thought, well, I'm friends with both Ninban and Walter, so it'd be pretty cool if I make it into the second round. And just it was neat because we didn't get to play in groups, and just happened to be.
Yeah, the fate brought us together. That was fine. Nice matches against KillerApp.
Now, I know Farland wants to go ahead and say something, so go ahead.
What? I was just gonna say I'm glad people got to play video games with their friends. Did you want something more than that wholesome content, Rick?
Well, I saw your Discord icon lit up, so I figured you were going to chime in with something.
Video games? I got nothing, man.
All right, well, with that discussion here, we'll move on to our traffic report. No, never mind. Actually, so, yeah, KillerApp, you had a great run, and it's unfortunate that you are going to be leaving us at this stage in the tournament. But is there anything you want to say as we close out on your chapter in this tournament?
Just thanks for all the admins and stuff for putting on the tournament again. It seems like forever since we've had a tournament, so it's been really fun. And thank everybody for doing a great job, restreams and commentators and whatnot. And wait for the next one.
Definitely thank the trackers link for us for clicking the buttons here in this match. Let's turn over to Ninban here, who moves on to round number 3, and you'll now be keeping a hard eye on
That's top 16, right?
What's that?
That's top 16.
That's right.
Yep, the third round of this tournament, the round of 16. Well, you'll be facing off against either Humbug or Pika Pals. Tell me your thoughts going into that series.
I'm predicting Pika Pals winning. Well, both are going to be dangerous opponents. I'm especially afraid of Pika Pals because I still remember that time he beat me in the Key Sanity tournament like 3 years ago. But it's gonna be a fun one. By the way, when are these matches? I see the series is still 0-0.
Your first match is going to be this afternoon at 3:10 Eastern over on SpeedGaming 4. Games 2 and Game 3, if necessary, is going to be coming up on Sunday at 1:10 and 3:10, if necessary, for that Game 3.
Rick.
All right.
Rick, I have to ask, did that change really recently? Because I'm looking at the schedule and that's not what I see. Not to call you out, but Humbug Pika Pals is at
2:10 o'clock, 2:10 over on SpeedGaming 1. Madcap Ganon's Gone Wild is at 3:10. Never mind. Okay, so game one between Humbug and Pika Pals is going to be 2:10 over on SpeedGaming. So in about an hour and a half for that first game, and then of course tomorrow is games 2 and 3 if necessary. That part is true.
I'm just going to point my browser at SpeedGaming, SpeedGaming Prime, because there's a match on there right now that I'm going to watch, and just keep watching the video games there.
Sounds good, and if you want to stick it here on Speed Gaming 2, we've got SMB3R coming up in just a few minutes. So, Ninban, any closing thoughts about this seed?
It was a nice one. Just thinking back on the item locations, it was just breadcrumbs. Like you full clear the light wall to get your Moonpearl, and after that you just do Village of Outcast Overworld because you don't want to dip Misery Mire with just a Final Sword and nothing else. So you do that, and then you get your hammer and some other stuff, and you just do other dungeons.
That's the ABCD.
Pretty simple to halt.
That's that ABCD acronym that everyone's using.
So yeah,
Always-
thanks to you both for commentating, and to Linkforce for writing, and the SpeedGaming community of channels for assigning this. Thank you very much. Always fun to do these matches in front of an audience. And see you later.
Give it up for both of our runners, KillerApp23 and Ninban. GG's to KillerApp. We'll be seeing him play some ladder races and whatnot as we move along through the late spring, early summer. And Ninban will be moving on to face off against Humbug or Pika Pals in round 3 of this tournament. So I guess at this point in time, we need to wrap things up and give way to the friends over on the SMB3 community for this channel. So let's go ahead and shout out the great, awesome Linkforce. She did an awesome job on the tracking duties, and also it's been a blast doing commentary here with you this morning and early afternoon. Well, after early afternoon my time here, Mr. Filian.
Thanks, Rick. It was a blast.
All right, SMB3R coming up next. If you want more Link to the Past Randomizer, you can turn on over to SpeedGaming right now, where they're about 35 minutes into that match over there on SpeedGaming 1. So let's go ahead and wrap things up. We'll see you later. Thanks for joining us.